Did we want to go over what we're going to talk about or just hit record and go? Welcome to another edition of the Orange Cactus Coffee. What is this?
We got another top tech gear review for you today.
Another gear review!
A glass brew vessel, also known as a CHEMEX.
Can we start over? This is so terrible. Welcome to the Orange Cactus Coffee Show. I'm Jake Goebel. This is Mike Kincaid, and we're going to talk about the CHEMEX brew device today. As you can probably see, we've got the Abel Kone filter that we're going to talk about, and we've got the regular paper, weird, kind of strange. If you buy it first, you're like, what, how? Yeah, it's just a piece of paper folded in quarters.
Perfect.
Beautiful. It looks cool, and it's been around a long time.
Yeah. It's just one single piece of glass.
Yep.
It's got this nice wood, I guess, handle.
Yep.
As you can see.
As you can see.
It has this little, what looks like a spout, but it's really like a chamber or an air channel, depending on who you ask.
Yep. And I use it as a spout as well.
So it's kind of a brew vessel and a container.
Serving vessel.
Decanter.
Decanter. I like that.
Decanter.
It's also a decanter. I'm going to walk off screen because this was well thought out. I like to bring it to 200 degrees is what I'm looking for to brew. You want to be somewhere between 195 and 205. I am going to preheat the Abel Kone filter and also the
vessel.
The vessel, right.
How much did that run you? About 40 bucks?
I don't remember. I don't
40
remember.
bucks.
Yeah, somewhere around 40 bucks. And the Abel Kone filter is about 30 bucks.
So you spent just as much on the filter.
Just as
but
much
it's
on the
reusable.
filter. It's reusable.
Yeah.
This costs you about as much as 300 of those filters cost. But you get a different cup. You get a different cup with the Abel Kone, and they also have a different method that they want you to use with it. Interesting.
Nice.
So right now what I've got here is I've got the Saguaro from Orange Cactus Coffee. And the reason why I like to use this with the Abel is because it gives me a little bit of a dirtier cup. So there's a little bit more of the oils that pass through. The filter will keep some of those oils out, and I like to have a little bit of that. It's a more of a full-bodied cup for a full-bodied coffee.
Gotcha.
So I'm gonna go, I just ground this. I highly recommend you fresh grind your beans. I try to get about 40 grams of ground coffee to 700 grams of water. That's a 17.5 to 1 ratio. That's what the missus and I normally drink, but for Mike, I went just a little bit stronger, so we're looking at about a 17 to 1 ratio right now. So
nice.
I'm gonna start with a bloom phase. So what I'm gonna do is I've got 40, I'm gonna put 100 grams of water in it, and that is going to allow some of the oxygen and the gas to escape. It's going to pre-wet and prepare all the coffee for extraction, for maximum extraction.
Yep, pre-wetting, always a good thing.
Always a good thing. So I'm gonna try and pour for 15 seconds, and then I'm gonna let it bloom for 30 seconds, and then I'm gonna start my next pour at 45 seconds.
Yeah, because 15 and 30
is 45.
That's the 45.
Bam! Bam! And they say I don't know math. All right, here we go.
Start the timer.
What I'm gonna do today is what Abel recommends, and that is a slow and steady pour right into the center.
Give it a go.
No.
Got 45 seconds. Are you gonna pour the rest of the water and bring us up to 700?
Yep.
Wow, so some call this a center pour, and I think they get that name because you're pouring right in the center.
Right down the center. I
Makes
know.
sense.
It is kind of crazy.
Yeah.
I forgot to mention what kind of grind I'm using. Because I'm brewing 2 cups here, I'm brewing more coffee than usual. I subscribe to that Chris Baca method where you want to coarsen up your grind when you double your coffee. See, what I don't like about this is that I don't feel like all of it's getting...
Yeah, the top is not being saturated. Is that because maybe you're not pouring fast enough?
Nope, you're supposed to pour slow. What they say is that the water comes up, see how it's coming up from the bottom?
Yeah.
You're getting extraction from the bottom, they argue, but I just don't see it, so I don't like it.
So this is bottom down extraction versus a top down extraction.
I couldn't have said it better myself.
Yeah.
So and I'm flexing and I'm getting tired and I'm at
You're shaking a little
420 grams and I'm at, thanks Mike. We're at 2 minutes. So I'm gonna, you can Man, teamwork. This is good.
I feel like we're in a battle, and I have to support your
yeah,
arms in
I
order
feel
for
like
the army to win.
Moses and Joshua.
Yeah.
So biblical reference there. So now we're at 2 minutes. We want to be between 3 and 4 minutes. We are at 600 grams.
And you're approaching this little knob, which is kind of cool because that's an indicator.
We're closing in on 700. And relax.
Perfect.
I don't know if I care for this particular method, but we're gonna try it. We're gonna taste it. And look, if you see, it's finishing up and we're right at 3 minutes. So I mean, it gives you a good, it sets you up in that time frame that you wanna be. We're at 320, and right now is when I would say, you know what, we're done. What I like about it is that you can take this Abel filter and you can just dump it straight into the trash. They recommend, of course, that you compost it. So I wanna say that. There we go. So I never, when I use the Kone filter, I never use all of it. I stop about, I try to pour a little slower, mixing it up back and forth, but I will leave that in there. And you can't really see, you can't see the sediment. Mike can see the sediment a little bit better.
You don't want to drink the sediment?
So I don't like the sediment. I don't like to chew my coffee. I just give it a little dump and I give it a little rinse. Yeah, this is the saguaro.
Are we drinking these?
We're drinking these. It's hot. I can tell you that much. It's hot. There's no doubt about that. So here's the thing. I think the center pour method keeps it a little bit hotter because it's always there. You don't let it drain down. I think when it drains down, I think it cools a little bit and the next pour, drain down, next pour, drain down. Remember Scott had talked about that, trying to keep a consistent temperature in those grounds to get a better extraction.
I need my spoon. Make my spoon.
Next one we're gonna show you is the filter method. So this part had me seriously confused. I tried to figure it out by myself.
That's why, buddy.
You ain't figuring it out by yourself.
That is why.
So here's a filter, like Mikey showed you. It's a piece of paper, folded into quarters. What you do with it is you actually open it like this. So crazy, mind blown. You open it like this. And then there's a single side and there's a triple side. I know it doesn't make sense, but the triple side goes towards the spout.
Don't question it.
Just like that, don't question it.
One of the reasons why it's good to have the triple side on the channel or the vent size is so that it's a little stronger, a little more rigid, doesn't collapse.
I've never had a collapse. I've never had a problem. How do you get the water out now? Right? If you're preheating the vessel, you just dump it. It just goes clean out the channel.
Pour it.
And then you got your filter in there.
Sweet.
Done deal.
Looks good.
Easy peasy. King cup here.
Oh.
So we got 40 to 700.
Okay.
That's a 17.5 to 1 ratio. So I'm gonna
Like
put
a
that
nice
in.
medium
I'm
grind.
gonna give you a little bit more, just there. I'd shake it, even it out a little bit. There we go. And now we're gonna get to the method that I typically use for the CHEMEX. Anytime I use it. Again, I'm gonna go with 100 gram water bloom. Try and get a 15-second pour. Try and get a 30-second bloom. At 45 seconds, I'll try and go for another 200 gram, 200 gram pours. So that's what we're going for.
So the idea behind it, and I think one of the big differences between the two methods is with the pulse pouring that Jake's gonna do, you actually introduce a little bit of agitation when you go to add the next pours of each water. And not only that, you're gonna probably work in circles, right? Starting in the center, work your way out, and try and just make sure that all the grounds are saturated somewhat on an even consistency.
Trying to be even with it, yeah.
Jake, how do you feel about the grounds that hug the edge or even get stuck to the filter? Do you avoid that, or do you go ahead and just say, you know what, you guys need to be part of this pool party as well?
I rinse them down.
And you hit them with a little water? You shoot the cannon at them?
I know that there's some folks that say you never want to put water onto the filter. It jumps through the filter and it shoots down the side, avoiding the coffee. I think that's crazy. I think it's absolutely crazy because you can actually see the water take the coffee with it. I don't understand how.
Well, the water level rises. So obviously you're still...
So clearly the water is not shooting down.
Obviously you don't want to pour all the water on the side of the filter the whole time. But we think it's okay if you hit it a little bit. I think the value of getting all the grounds into the slurry to be brewed up is more important than worrying about a little water slippage down the side.
It says here, the perfect coffee starts with a perfect filter. Kind of the sales pitch on the side of the filter box here. It says cone shape ensures uniform extraction for pure coffee flavor. I just find it interesting that I get the same sales pitch for the flat bottom filters and the flat bottom drippers, where it says the flat bottom ensures a more uniform extraction than does the cone.
I think for us, it's mostly experience. You do it one way, coffee tastes amazing, you're like, that's the way to do it. And there's personal preference within it. At the end of the day, how does the coffee taste? How does the cup taste? If you're enjoying it, if you're getting the blueberries to the face, if that's what you're chasing,
I love blueberries to the face.
Keep going with it. Don't, you know, there's not necessarily a right or wrong if you're enjoying the cup.
Yeah. But every once in a while, I find that if you're having some slow down time, you can pick it up and kind of set it and reset it.
You accidentally forget to adjust your grinder and you go too coarse. Say you were doing a French press yesterday and you forgot to. More agitation will slow your brew down, as Jake just described. So it's a way to combat if you accidentally miss grind. Or if you go too fine and normally you agitate, maybe don't agitate as much because you want it to go a little faster to compensate for grinding too fine.
What I do like about using a filter is that you just pick it up and you toss it in the trash. So with this one, it is just such a clean cup on the filter that I don't stop short. You're gonna get everything here, and you can. Mike can see it. You can't see the difference, but I'm gonna show Mike the difference. See the difference?
Yeah, you sure can. There's nothing in there.
It's noticeable.
One of the things the CHEMEX is known for is an ultra clean cup, and I think that has a lot to do when you use the paper filter, and there being 3 sides for pretty much 50% of that filter. You're filtering that much more.
Clean cup.
Thank you, Jake. It might be hot.
That's hot. I can tell you one thing. That's hot and flavorful.
Whoa.
It's bright.
It is. So final thoughts on a CHEMEX. When do you think they're good to use for daily use? When do you gravitate towards using it? When you need to make 1 cup, 2 cups?
2 cups. If I'm making 2 cups, the CHEMEX is my go-to device.
This particular one, because they do make different sizes.
This one, the 6 cup.
Yeah.
If I need to make 2 cups, I use the 6 cup CHEMEX.
Perfect, makes sense. It's a great brew device. It's classic, looks good, makes a very clean cup.
And I think they look cool. When you are entertaining and you make coffee for people at your house with the CHEMEX, they appreciate it. They appreciate the ceremony. I appreciate the ceremony. I appreciate the history. Appreciate that it's a classic. I think you should definitely have a CHEMEX in your arsenal, but I wouldn't make it my first one. Repertoire. There's a lot of different ways that people say to clean it. Put ice in with some salt, and then you swirl it around. I gotta tell you, I just undo it. Please don't tell anyone, because this might not be.
You untie it?
I untie it. In fact, I'm not going to be able to do it because we're on camera here. I undress the CHEMEX. So this might be a little indecent for you younger viewers out there. But there's, there it goes. There it goes. And it goes in the dishwasher. Because I don't want to put the brush in there and scrubbity scrub and all that other stuff. It goes in the dishwasher just like that. And as soon as it comes back out, there it is. This guy goes right back on top. That's what I do to wash it, to keep it clean. I don't send it through the dishwasher every time, but you know, 3-4 uses, maybe 3.
I was gonna say months.
No, not 3-4 months. At least once a week.
So I like both these cups. I think it did a good job. I think it's nice that you can get different filters. Check out the paper filters. We'll have a link to them. Check out the cone filter. We'll have a link to that as well.
Yeah.
If you have a preferred method, if there's other ways you like to use the CHEMEX, or if there's something that we said that you absolutely disagree with.
Yeah, when you're watching this, you're like, these guys are a bunch of idiots. We value all your feedback. And we agree with you.
Because you're probably right.
Because you're probably right.
So be sure to inform anyone else that watches and reads the comments. But thanks so much for your time. We're going to enjoy these cups. And until next time, get a CHEMEX. One out.
Orange Cactus coffee out. Throw that in my face. You agreed to this.
Watch out now.
Look, my palate is changing. Don't judge me. It's about 440 to 700.